Remember when this used to be about us taking care of a museum?
Remember when it used to be about Maude Flanders? How are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Good.
But as you can
Fine.
see, I am recording. Today's cold opening, one of many, sees Maude, Ned, Rod, Todd, Lady John Ham, Helen Hamjoy, Helen Ham, just regular Ham Jr., Assistant Ham, Jessica Lovejoy, Conrad Mona Goodman, Silky Nutmeg Goodman, Tatiana Turnbull, spoiler, all doing stuff.
Excellent.
And action.
Starring Maude and Ned, going to leave Springfield, going to another Springfield. It's the Maude and Ned spin-off sitcom, starring Rod and Todd.
Oh, everybody.
Come in. Welcome, everyone. I'm so glad you could make it.
We couldn't miss the opportunity to see Maude's famous hosting skills in action.
Mum, that smile's very fake, said Jessica. Well,
Come in, Helen. I'm sure you meant every word of that. I'm just trying to focus on making sure my guests are comfortable. Is everybody having a nice time?
I'm not. Ham Hog's got loose.
whom?
Ham Hog, my hamster. No, my hedgehog.
Oh,
Oh, Lordy. What are these little gifts he's leaving?
Oh, for fuck's... Watch your feet, everyone. It's not gifts, it's hedgehog shit.
He's all over the place and he's shitting left, right, and centre.
Neddy, watch your feet.
oh diddly.
Rod, put it down. No, Todd. Natalie Line. Something about being tired.
I'm so tired.
Assistant Ham, are you sure you're ready to be a mother lover? It seems you can't even control one child.
Jesus Christ, what a mean thing to say to me, Helen.
Helen, please, can we just enjoy the party?
Fucking bitch.
Everything is too chaotic for me, Maude.
Burst. I'm here and I want us to all get fed. Children, go find the snack table immediately. Yes, we will. Daddy, can we eat everything? Yes, I demand that you eat everything. Our sister is rolling in it.
Oh, Conrad, what are you and Silky Nutmeg Brass like Yara, Jiggly, Pandora, Trinity, Eureka, and the rest doing here, Fear of Lace? What are you all doing? I'm feeling overwhelmed.
Don't worry, Maude. I've got this.
Oh, no,
I'm Lady
not
John
you,
Ham.
lady.
Oh, come on, children, come here. I'm great with children. Yeah, look, I put some cucumbers on my eyes, and I put some lettuce in my mouth, and I look like a crazy vegetable man.
Ah,
You're so funny, mister.
I don't want any damn vegetable, man.
Dad, I'm having a bad time here.
Ham, you know where the toilet is, you just asked me.
It keeps coming out.
It keeps
Ham,
coming
ham.
out. Get me a tricycle.
Oh, I can barely even hear him anymore. I'm having so much fun. Even Helen has embraced some of the children with open arms. Open. The party has turned out quite nicely, Ned, hasn't it? I'm now grateful for my brother Conrad for bringing his children and lightening the mood. And I'm grateful to you, Lady John Ham, for entertaining the children and making sure everyone was having a good time.
Time. End of cold open.
I
If
need to,
only.
I'm going to the toilet. I'm back, and no more cloth shall be touched.
Excellent.
This game of Connect 4 is so much fun, Lady John Ham. Yes, we're having a real good time, aren't we, here, Silky Nutmeg Goodman?
So everybody's having a great time.
But this game's getting a bit intense. I'm going to win. No, I'm going to win. God damn it, child. You beat me. No one beats me at Connect 4.
Oh no.
Unacceptable behaviour from John Ham. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
Everybody's crying now.
I'm crying too.
all the children. Todd's crying.
I knew I
Rod's
shouldn't have
upset.
slapped my legs so hard.
Todd's upstairs crying. He didn't even see what happened. I am so sorry, Lady John Ham. I had no idea you would react like that.
Yes,
Please let me in.
my dynamite leg's a bit sore. It's not your fault though, Maude. I lost my temper, and I'm sorry. I'll leave now and let you all calm down. I'll just have to
What a good man.
squeeze past this hedgehog. Oh shit!
Fire! The curtains are on fire.
Oh, the bloody curtains are on fire.
Oh, my house.
I knew
Umbatu
it.
gave me those curtains.
I knew it was a bad idea, Maude, inviting a man with legs made of dynamite, even if he is my husband.
Oh, Helen, you can get out first. Oh no, last. The fire is spreading. Everybody scramble. Every Maude for themselves.
Well, this is a shame, oodly doodly, Maude, isn't it? That our house is now engulfed in flames.
Oh, I feel a sense of sadness and regret. Let's all gather. I couldn't believe what was happening. I can't believe what's happening. My party was supposed to be a simple get-together, and now my house is on fire and people are getting hurt.
Oh,
You know what?
Goodmans, good men and goodmans.
Everyone, stand back. The fuse on my legs is getting very short. I have to run to the river before they explode. Stay back, hashtag.
Ham Junior, what do you think?
Get me an effing tricycle.
No tricycle, Ham Jr. Lady John Ham, get in that river.
Quickly, LJ, to the river.
Yes, I'm in the river now. Brilliant. Ah, that's put out my legs.
just
Well, that's good. Everything is resolved. Everybody
They've
is...
gone a bit mushy.
That's okay. Is everybody accounted for?
no.
Maud, your good friend Helen Lovejoy's still inside the house. I'll try and save her. Come on, Maud, we have to help Helen.
I twisted my ankle on the way out. My arm hurts. I feel a bit tired today. Has anyone else got a headache? I'm allergic to fire.
I'm with Maude on this one. Fuck her.
Squeak! Who's this? A woman
Oh.
dressed all in black stepped out with a stern expression on her face.
Aunt Tatiana, said I, Rod. What are you doing here?
I'm here to collect my debt. Now come with me.
Debt? What debt?
Cold look. You'll find out soon enough. Get in the back of the effing van. Squeak, 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 squeak.
Caw.
Squeak, squeak, pig. Squeak, squeak, pig. Oink, oink. Shut up, hedgehog. Quack, quack.
Caw. I used to be human, Caw.
The end.
Greetings. It is I, your continuity-friendly guide to the miniverse, Luna Sizemore, not seen on the family tree. Thanks to the traveling of hosts Brendan and Nathan O'Leary, we have now entered the Wee Principality. And what's that we see over yonder? It's the local bard, Pippi of Bickershaw. And it sounds to me like he's reciting the recent history of how Brendan, Nathan and all their 40 pals ended up in the WWP.
Previously on the MC. CW's Dog Snaggy returns. Normal man God King is on throne on Sunderland. All our friends are released from cage of udders. Udders turn out to be digital natives. Derrida shows up at the end and tells us we are needed in the Wee Principality. Xenakis has turned the sky into screams and sold all the water to Nestle for delicious panda corpses.
Oh, and what's this now? He's going to regale us with a somber tale about the Wee Principality we now inhabit. Let's gather round and take a listen.
The WWP was once like any other principality of the Maniverse. Its people were farmers and doctors, and the thriving city was just that. A Greek-Romanian musician from who knows where on day several years ago. His music was the screams of horror forged in war, and rumors were he feasted on the blood of innocents in the night. The musician travelled around the WWP, and wherever he would go, spiderwebs and dark corners would infest, though many would embrace him and turn to him on his travels out in an area known as the Waz, a swamp-type place with knee-deep slime he chances across a box. No one could open this box for the musician. He tried in vain, for he knew inside it later great power, and so the box accompanied him on his travels. In the same swamp he adopted a filthy-mouthed Scottish parrot. The tale goes that one midnight, by the crossroads of the two oases, he played a tune on his lyre that was of such horror that when accompanied by the screeches of his parrot, caused the box to open, unleashing demons and blackness to cover the entire principality. As a reward, the owner of the box, Satan, presented the musician with a vial of deoxyribonucleic acid, or DNA, that granted him the powers he had always desired. The WWP became what it is today, a demon-infested wasteland in which the good people either succumb to the will of Xenakis or hide like frightened mice inside the salt circles, has turned to the sky and took screams and sold all the water to Nestle for delicious panda corpses.
Shitty bastard.
Maude, it's a Maude Good cast, season 9. A well-forgotten woman, but not by us. The bushes are rumbling. Thanks for the marriage and kids. Now, husband, walk to your death, regardless if chatbot says it didn't happen. She is a mental wild card. She's not the Century and Landers. She's the sister of flawed Mendes' evil twin, Laurie Goodman, now back on good terms. Powers of quick change and teleportation. She is pro-Jebediah and pro-miracle. She's teaching us the joy of shame through the fumes. It's the Maude Flanders Internet Museum podcast, season 9, episode 1. Who would have even believed it?
Who would have even can? It's also roughly 3 years since we started.
No,
Yeah, we started in the pandemic. We
not
started
true.
COVID.
Not true.
I'm confident we started in March 2020.
Oh, looking around here though, climbing out of the body of that robot. Oh,
Is us.
where are we? This seems like a very desolate land. I remember getting inside the robot's body. Ooh, I remember getting inside the robot's body on an island. Now,
Yeah,
remember when this used to be about us taking care of a museum?
remember when it used to be about Maude Flanders?
Remember when this used to be about monkeys constructing a destroyed museum?
I do. I
Remember
wonder
when
how
this
they're
used to be
getting
about a set of space dogs who had a cult?
on. Two-man Truman Show.
Remember when this used to be about your evil doppelganger escaping from Rupert Murdoch?
You remember when it used to be about Lost?
Oh, hold on, here's the taxi. All
Who's
right.
driving?
Oh, well, I'm driving. I'm Chris effing Jagger. I ain't seen you guys for a bloody chicken second.
Where are we?
Where's my brother?
He's in space.
He's obviously
He's
safe.
all over. Yeah, he's safe. He's in
He's in heaven.
rest in pieces.
Anyway, your cousins, Flimsy and Nightshade, have sent me here in the wee Principality for take you all the way over here to this salt circle. So get in the effing taxi, whoever's here.
Where are we?
Just told you. Just fucking told you.
Oh.
Do-do-do-do.
We're in the wee Principality.
Oh yeah, and it's infested with effing demons. I'll tell you. I think send them all back. Send them all back. That's what I was like.
And all of our friends came with us too from the island, like Molly Baxter, Porridge, her parrot,
So
Rolling Fingers, etc.
Where's that music coming from?
To quote Shaq, what's inside that salt circle?
Why have they got a picture of Bar Belfry?
What's inside that salt circle?
Is that cat wearing a big purple hat?
What is inside that salt circle?
So, hello, come in, our cousins. This is the first time we've met you in person for many, many years. I'm Flimsy Rosewater.
What are you reading from?
I'm just making it up now.
Like a full season of plots and then improv halfway through the first one.
No, but Jock's going to head off, but we haven't arrived in the Salt Circle yet. We've got to get to the Salt Circle.
So okay.
Nice to see you, Zaz, King Zaz. I'm Flimsy Rosewater.
Oh, yes. I think you're Lawrence Nightingale. Oh, no, I'm Lawrence Nightingale. Welcome to our humble salt circle, Zaz and Brendan.
Oh, it's nice to be here. Is it going to get confusing that we've got exactly the same voices, you think?
No more so than the other voice. Everybody in this universe sounds like either this
or a pitched up version,
or someone from Sunderland.
So Jock, he seems like he's getting ready for to go off somewhere. That's Jock Derrida, but he's normal size.
Well, down here in the wee wee principality, I'm a normal size.
Jack Derrida, riding a hamster, slipping between the blades of grass. Tiny Derrida, deconstructing everything, coming to you to tell you what's what.
But I'm going to head off to the palace of Xenakis to save the people of the wee wee principality from eternal chaos, and about time rescue my bloody vampire son from the clutches of that evil demon Xenakis. Who's coming with me?
That sounds like a whole thing. I'll come. Me, Rolly Fingers.
Molly Baxter, are you in? Yes.
Porridge, you in?
Squawk.
And I'm Francis Potter, and to your invite I say, no way, no way. However, Ashley, our temporary member, has been assigned to join you.
Yes. All right, let's go. All jump on Quadrupence and his friends are hamsters of pure light, and away we go.
Everybody else just settle in, have a look around. Viv, Vivacious, why don't you take Snaggy for a walk? Yeah, okay. Viv doesn't have a voice. Mother has arrived.
All right, you. Can you give me some pencils and some hamburgers on Twitter?
Who are you, child?
I'm Mihai. I live in Wee Wee Principality. I've been surviving on scraps for a long time. Have you got any scraps for me from Twitter?
No, girl. How about you, Snaggy?
Woof woof.
Oh, this is my dog, Snaggy. He can't talk, but he can type like Val Kilmer in Top Gun.
Oh, that's very rude what he's typed. I'm going to ban him from Twitter. Bye.
Oh, that was odd, Snaggy. Shall we go back so this isn't just a vivacious Snaggy two-hander?
Sponsors. Though they're coming back, that's good. Let's do some sponsors as sponsors. Cerebus the Architect, aka Art Valdebris, private and pirate commissioned by governments to carry out quasi-military ergon raids. He's a legal title within the United States and navigating without legal authorization, prepared to use force against pirates off the Somali coast, and his only flag is a black flag. Inherits the ruins of Liu Yongfu, 1837 to 1917, Chinese warlord. Liu's family was poor and lived by manual work. The Expansible Corporate Incubator, aka Expansible Egg Incubator, and Hatcher Tray.
Excellent. Sponsors: Apple Juice with no E, the exclusive new energy drink from Jeff Apple and now famous YouTuber Molly Baxter. Comes in 3 flavours.
Did you just nearly vomit then?
I was thinking about the apple juice. Comes in 3 flavours: apple blood, chips, and boys. And next.
Chicken necks.
Double guitars.
Sponsor: Vanilla, 90s girl band for a bet. And subject of Jacques Derrida's upcoming biopic, Francis Potter, Alison Potter, Alda Sword, Sharon Selby, and promotional single Real Life temporary member Ashley.
Currently travelling with French philosophy, Jacques Derrida. Sponsor: Days on Day, brain, history quickly crashing through your veins. Sponsor Rex, back, and by the end of this season we will have a winner.
I repeat, a winner.
A winner.
Are you going to edit it in here, or are we going to do it?
I'm just going to edit it in. I'm just going to give you the highlights now. Previously, I Am Your Grandma, Cerebus, and Francis Potter have all been eliminated. The current front-runners of the competition are Xenakis and the Log Lady of S.H.I.E.L.D. with 2 wins each. Cindy, Derrida, Viv, and Fu all have a win, while Scott, Jenny the Vixen Ryan, and Onion have 0 wins, making them the underdogs of the season.
Aye.
It's the Mordcast official sponsor race episode 5.
Remaining contestants, 10.
Last week, the Log Lady of S.H.I.E.L.D. won the Flanball Smackdown and chose Francis Potter to sashay away.
Now Xenakis, the loser of the Fland Ball contest, must reveal which contestant he had chosen to get the chop had he won. And he had picked 124 girl to go home. How hard will she roll her eyes at this information?
Howdy gang, Mini Challenge 5. Which one of you sponsors could endure the MFIM DB1 wind chime ride for the longest?
After 17 minutes, Jenny the Vixen Ryan endured the most and threw up the least, but she didn't not throw up at all. Congratulations, Vixen, you are the winner of this week's challenge, mini challenge. You've won some Gaviscon.
Thank you very much. The team did really well. You just needed a couple more to push me a little bit.
Maxi Challenge number 5. The sponsors must pair up and perform a comedy skit set in the spin-off sitcom verse. Good luck, and home as a critic, pass it on.
The pairs will be determined by fate. Each of you will choose an anonymous Maude Flanders Bible. Whomever's passages match up will be a pair.
And the teams are Skenakis and Onion, Team Senyon.
Scott and Cindy, Team Scott Windy.
Margaret and Jacques, Team Derrida of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Vivacious and Fu Team Vu Chengyu.
And Jenny and 124, Team the Vixen Girl.
Good luck, teams, and don't you think you're exaggerating just a bit?
Team Scott Windy had a great performance.
Team Xenion, Team Derrida of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Team Vu Chengyu had a good performance.
Team the Vixen Girl had a bad performance in the challenge. Ham Ham Jr. was left unimpressed.
Time to break out of pairs and be shining solo sponsors on the runway. This week's theme, the Cult of Laika.
Cindy Chandler presents a Flim Flam look. Fu Chengyu presents a Michael Toby Buster look. Scott Walker presents a new era S9E1 Hobgoblin look. Onion presents a Natalie Balloon Roboticore look. 124 Girl presents a Sharon Flim Flam look. The Log Lady of S.H.I.E.L.D. presents a Laika look. Jenny the Vixen Ryan presents a MFI MDB5 Moonbase look. Yanis Xenakis presents a Jeff Apple look. Derrida presents a Michael Toby Buster look. And last but not least, Vivacious presents an odd design Swahichi Inu 11 look.
Derrida and Vivacious slayed the runway.
Cindy Chandler, Yanis Xenakis, and the Log Lady of S.H.I.E.L.D. had a great runway.
Scott Walker RIP, Fu Chengyu, Onion, and Jenny the Vixen Ryan had a good runway.
124 Girl had a bad runway on top of a bad performance.
Welcome to the main stage of the Maude-cast official sponsor race. I am Beef Wellington. Please welcome our regular judges, Brendan and Nathan O'Leary, and let's give a warm welcome to our extra special guest judges, Todd Hobgoblin, Soichi Inu Wanwan Hobgoblin, and from Westworld, Tandwi Newton, Holla Atabu Tandi.
Now it's time for the judges' deliberations. Queens, you may relax backstage back door and enjoy a Mel Gibson bloodbath.
Silence, Thandawi Newton. Enough about the W. Bring back our sponsors.
Sponsors, you competed as teams, but tonight you will be judged individually. When you hear your name, please step forward.
Onion, Log Lady of S.H.I.E.L.D., Derrida, Chengyu, you are all safe. You may step to the back of the stage.
Which means Scott, 124, Cindy, Vixen, Xenakis, Viv, you are the tops and bottoms of the week.
Now, top 3 and bottom 3. The 7 of us judges would like to hear from you. Who do you think should go home tonight and why?
First, Vivacious. Viv chose 124 Girl because of their lack of drag maturity. 124 Girl took it great.
Next up, Xenakis. Xenakis 100 also said 124 Girl and agreed with Vivacious that it was due to her lack of drag maturity, which shouldn't really matter in a sponsor race, but 124 took it well again. 124 took it well again and remained unmad.
What say you, Jenny the Vixen Ryan? The Vixen chose 124 Girl too, despite being her teammate this week. The Vixen put it down to 124's performance throughout the season. 124 Girl remained not bothered, despite having half of the votes on stage.
Cindy is next, and she also chooses 124 Girl, but she has anger in her voice. She describes 124 as frustrating to work with and not on the same level as the other contestants. Unsurprisingly, 124 was still not mad at anyone.
How about you, Scott Walker? Scott also chose 124 because of her runway looks throughout the season. This was apparently her line in the sand because 124 felt very upset about this.
And finally we get to 124 Girl herself. Who should go home tonight? 124, and why? Astoundingly, with 5 votes out of 5 to go, 124 then names herself as her choice to go home, because it's not really a school for kids, it's a competition for the best of the best.
124, are you saying you want to withdraw from the race? Oh, you don't. You just think you're the worst competitor. Okay.
Well, it was good to hear your thoughts, sponsors. Back to it. Scott Walker, Cindy Chandler.
Team Scott Windy.
You are the holiest rollers of the week. Congratulations. Do that one again. Congratulations.
You feel at times for things, and it just happened to be this time.
I know who they are. They were on the first plane, Oceanic 815, along with me.
124 Girl, good job, you're safe. Just kidding, you're in the bottom two. Xenakis, you're safe.
124, Jenny the Vixen Ryan, vivacious. I'm sorry, my dears, but you are the wet blankets of the week.
Scott, Cindy, you will now fland ball against each other to the song That Glee Song by Journey. Good luck, and home is a critic. Pass it on.
Sponsors, we have made our decision.
Scott Walker, RIP. You're a winner, baby. Congratulations. We hope you have a fetish because you've won 3 pairs of shoes.
Will the wet blankets please step forward?
Scott Walker, with great power comes great flans spinability. Which of the bottom sponsors have you chosen to get the chop?
124 girl. Unsurprisingly, Scott Walker has chosen you to get the chop. Now your fate rests in the hand of Maude Flanders. You have the golden flute. You will remain in the competition.
You do. It's gold.
She had the golden flute.
Congratulations, 124 girl. You ain't going nowhere. You get to slay another day.
Congratulations, sponsors, and remember, if you can't think of the children, how the hell are you going to think of anyone else?
May I request an amen?
Now let the music play.
Remaining contestants, still 10.
She has the golden flute. Nobody is eliminated. To the moon.
What's Derrida text?
I believe we were supposed to get a text every week off Derrida.
Oh,
but we've just seen him, so.
No, he's just set off, and there's a text here. You want me to read it?
Sure.
And you can tell me how it relates to this stuff.
Oh yeah, that's like how we began with us.
Everyone must assume their own death. That is to say, the one thing in the world that no one else can either give or take, therein resides freedom and responsibility.
Send him a thumbs up so he knows that we got it.
I tend to really got that emoji that's like slightly sideways with tears coming out, like, oh, Jacques. But what do you think that might mean? Everyone must assume their own death. And how does this relate to Maude Flanders getting her first mention of the episode?
First and probably only. She died, so she assumed her own death. But I don't know how quickly. Does it mean that she knew at some point she would die? That is the one thing in world. That's not true that it's the one thing in the world that nobody can either give or take, because you can murder people.
But if you assume your own death, if you know that it is inevitable and you own it, then you've already come to terms with it before it happens. Do you think Maude had come to terms with her own mortality before she took that hot dog sleigh ride?
Mortality. Yeah, I think given the whole heaven situation and how into Jesus they were, and the fact that they've communicated with God in show, if anything, she was probably excited to die.
It's unlikely.
He probably couldn't wait.
Oh, hold on. Can you see Jagger's taxi over there in the distance? What's he just run over?
It looks like some kind of multiversal troll.
Oh, good lord.
Are you going to clean up your taxi, Jagger?
Nah, it's fine. It's self-cleaning.
That's handy.
Elsewhere in the Salt Circle, Flimsy and Lawrence are discussing their Apple
So, okay, well, let's try and get some sense here. Jeff Apple, Space Jesus 2.
Also the ghost of Richard Madeley.
He's left some technology here that will make this troll, this semi-conscious troll, whose name seems to be Quadriverb, to make him spill the beans on Xenakis. I imagine it's going to lead to an inevitable Trolls versus Hobgoblins War 2. But to power this technology to make him speak, we need to power it by hamsters of pure light. Thankfully, we brought Quadrupence, his cousins Octopence and Dodeca Hamsterpence with us. I don't know who that was that Jack and his crew flew off, but that was a normal hamster, although he did describe it as a hamster of pure light, but I think that was just a term of friendship. These are actual hamsters of pure light. So
that was just a normal flying hamster.
So we put the 3 hamsters of light in.
It's a Quadriverb.
No, into the technology of Richard Madeley.
Oh yes, Jeff Apple's
which will make this troll, who we assume is called Quadriverb because it's written on his t-shirt, speak
about Xenakis, who we all of a sudden care about.
Well,
are we just helping Derrida?
No,
are we just being nice?
We're Flimsy and Rosewater.
Flimsy and Lawrence. Okay.
This will all make sense in the post. We'll get
Yeah,
some
of course it
pictures
will.
in, it'll make sense. All right, click, switch it on. Oh, okay, the new.
Oh, the troll's up. Tell us something about Xenakis.
Oh, he's a bloody effing C-U-N-K.
Yes,
He's
he
a bad un.
certainly is.
He's a bad un. He's a bloody bad un.
What can you tell? That's a bit risky. What can you tell us about him?
About Xenakis, nout. He's a vampire king, and he's turned this whole land into a horrible wasteland. Listen to the story. What Phil read a bit ago. I'll tell you.
Oh yeah, I was listening. I'm going to listen to it now on audio.
I play it on my phone, and you play the whole story about what. Click. I hope you learn now. Oh yeah, I know now. Okay, all right. Well, put this troll back to sleep and throw his body outside the salt circle.
Now we know what to do.
Hamsters, you can come out now. Squeak, squeak.
Enjoy
hamsters are pure light. It's beautiful. The room just
Here's
got
a little snack.
bigger. That's a little snack. Oh, and look who's just arrived.
Oh look, we're at the salt circle.
It's the CWs, the King Brendan and King Nathan, our cousins. They just arrived.
Oh, our cousins are here. We should let them in.
They seem to be running, and I seen the. We were pursued by demons this whole way. Oh yeah, I know that one. That's Belphegor. He's a bad one.
Hi, I'm Nathan.
Hi, I'm Brendan. Nice to meet you. Haven't we done this already? Oh, time moves strangely here in the Salt Circle.
That's good. That's convenient.
Cop out.
What year is this?
But listen, Xenakis, harbingers, frogs, scorpions, ravens, and black cats are everywhere in Shatner voice.
Oh no.
Oh no. Well, while we're here now, we'll settle down. Why don't you give me a number between 1 and 300?
242.
242. You remember when we made a deal to not take more than 15 minutes to get to content?
I do. That deal is gone. That was before we got to the WWP.
Been reneged. Here we go. 242. We are not going to be dying for this man today, thinks Maude.
That is accurate. Did Maude teach us? Oh, I thought it said hurt. I am going to just using the other moratoriums around it that I'm not supposed to see, assume that this is comet based, and Maude is thinking this whilst in the bomb shelter. And I think that is exactly. I don't think that's too much of a speculation at all. I think that's exactly what Maude thought. Like, if it comes down to me or Homer, it's Homer. Todd's holding a loaded shotgun anyway. I'll just grab that. I don't care who sees.
We're not going to be dying for this man today. No, this is where he tries to get into the bomb shelter, doesn't he?
Yes.
And she locks him out, happy to send him to his death.
Yes, that is not what.
There's
He's invited in.
By Ned, though, right?
Yes, by Ned. Maude didn't get. I imagine, the conversation prior to Ned opening the door was exactly that. Neddy, we are not dying for this man today. This fat oaf.
What year was that? What season was that?
6, 7.
A long time ago, isn't it? Should we get to some content?
Why not? Why not?
Content in which Maude does not appear because she's dead, Boiler.
Yes.
Post-death, season 14.
These are the dregs, let's be honest, but we're getting there.
At least she exists in this season. See, this is season 14 of The Simpsons. Season 14, episode 13, A Star is Born Again. We're in the mall, we're the leftatorium external. Everything for left-handed man, woman, and child. Form of business, sole proprietorship, says Ned as he sits at the counter. He is down in the dumps. Owner, marital status, happily married to a dead woman, he says. Cold.
It is cold, isn't it? It's cold and sad. I like he still considers himself to be happily married, though. That's a good sign. He's not just married, he's happily married, and he still sees the marriage as valid, despite death doing them part.
Not by the end of this episode, though. Not once he's got his end.
No, that's true. This is him. I'll come back to this, but this is them reminding us that Maude existed in one of 12 examples in this episode. But yeah, he is. I like that he doesn't sound happy.
He is not.
And I don't remember the last time we saw the Leftorium. It may have been the time that he was chased by Dolph, Gurney, and Jimbo into the zoo.
It's a long time. I remember the It's a Wonderful Life parody when they left or him open. And since then, I don't think we've really touched on it that much.
No, and that was 3 years ago.
Never. No chance.
Maybe 2. Yeah, that's it. That's a good bold opening for this season. And this is season 14, so this is the same season as we've just seen Ghost Maude this season 2.
Season 2. Clip 2. Yes. Ned opens the door. A horde of reporters, including Nagelstall, are out there. They shout in order. Are you sleeping with Sarah Slane? Nagel, is that mustache real? Third, do you plan to kill Sarah like your last wife? Cold.
All very cold. A cold episode with a special guest appearance from James L. Brooks.
The man who appears on every single episode.
Yeah, the man who created The Simpsons 2 years ago.
Yeah. So what are all those reporters at his door for?
Excuse me. I'm allergic to the WWP. Because he's dating... This is Ned's first official relationship post-Maude, obviously. Otherwise, we would have already seen them.
Yes.
Other than its string of failed dates. Her name is Sarah Sloane, and she is a Hollywood actress. And she has come to Springfield for some reason that is... I think she just wanted to get away from the fame for a while, and she met Ned because she's left-handed and wanted something from the
Is it like a Notting Hill thing?
Sure, why not? Most likely. It is, she is also played by Marissa Tomei, aka Aunt Marissa Tomei. I quite like Sarah Sloane. Yeah, she's a Hollywood actress, so I think the press have got hold of the fact that she's, moved to a random city/town in the middle of Middle America or North or South America. And they're just trying to create some kind of, they need to know what's going on, so they are doing their whole press thing. I do like that they somehow have this information that Ned may have killed Maude, and I like that man he might have just decided that himself as a shock tactic, or that might be what the whole media thinks. We don't know.
Do you think there was a story? So here's the thing, right? When someone dies in such a wild way, such as falling from the stadium, that's reported on. That's newsworthy, right? I mean, they played it off like it didn't because they wanted to move on. But people know that people of Springfield know that Ned's wife died horrifically. Do you think there was a rumor that Ned was responsible?
No, just because like 80% of the town saw it happen. Like, it happened in a very public place. But that claim you've just said about the town sort of knowing what happened or it being reported on will come back in this episode.
Really?
It will be backed up by a second claim. But yeah, do you plan to kill Sarah like your last wife? It's very, very bold to shout at someone at the door. And I like that he doesn't dignify it with a response, because that's what Maude would want him to do. Maude would just say, don't listen to that, Neddy. You didn't kill me. Also,
I remember in the old days when Maude used to appear and we used to think what she thought and what she would say.
Yes, and now we have to pretend she's there and then think about what she thought.
Now it's just vague references or freeze frame pictures of half of her face on the wall.
Yeah, this is what I would definitely call the lull era, because there is what we'll call a Roswell-assance happening. I would like to say soonish, but soonish, probably not season 9 of the Maudecast. But this is the period of time where I think they tried to drift away from Maude, and then for some reason around season 20 they decided to just actively honor and remember her quite frequently. But there's between 13 and 20, that's the least Maude gold, but there is still gold nonetheless.
This is gold.
I imagine that she would be happy to hear this news, by the way. This is the Where's Maude segment, but I'm going to cover all the clips with this one. She would be happy to hear the news that Ned considers himself happily married still, but outside of clip 1, she's probably just going to want to stay in and read a book this week.
Yeah, this doesn't go well for Maude. 3, Ned is in the supermarket. He's with a sassy lady with calf-length jeans who has creamy white hair, and she's throwing women things into the shopping trolley. A magazine, a scrunchie. And Ned says, it's nice to be shopping for a woman again. Deadpan. The last thing I bought for a woman was a casket. Cold.
Yes, woman things. Sarah Sloane in the kitchen like she should be there. Cleaning and mopping the floor all together now. He does say this very tastelessly, but it's kind of also nice that he's ready to laugh about things.
He looks straight into the camera as he does it with this kind of goofy, toothy, kind of half smile.
He's very self-deprecating in this kind of series of clips, actually, not just in this episode. But they're really hammering home that he's a widow, aren't they? Like, this is the third mention of her. They've not even mentioned a name yet, but they've now mentioned that Ned is a widow 3 times in the first, like, 12 minutes of this episode, just so you definitely remember. And, like, the start of the episode as well is, it's about, like, everyone's at a romantic jellyfish festival. And
The band?
Ned and yeah, exactly. No, just a festival for jellyfish.
Oh.
And Ned's one of the only people without a partner, and Marge and Homer, well, not as much Homer, but they feel sorry for Ned because he's a widower and he can't participate in that festival. And then Homer also lists the other festivals he can't compete in, which are the Tongue Kissing Festival, Cinco de Ocho, and the Hobo Oscars.
Hobo Oscars.
Which implies that Ned and Maude did attend these festivals prior to her cement kiss.
Ned and Maude at the Hobo Oscars is a cold opening I would like Chatbot to do right now.
Yes, it is also a diary that we may or may not see in an episode today or otherwise.
Then I will hold off. I will hold all of my horses. The last thing I bought for a woman was a casket.
Yes, cold as ice. What have I got to say about that? Following. Oh, that was it. I already read my note, made one note. This thing, for that sort of meaningless, that most of my notes are very short or they're about a previous episode or, well, things we've learned about Maude on the journey. But it's important to look at these references just to know that The Simpsons kept her alive in spirit occasionally for 8 years. Hello.
Clip 4. WTF. Ned is naked under a blanket, with the lass also naked, clothes scattered. What has gone on here, I said. You made me completely forget about Bob Balaban. That's what Maude used to say, isn't it?
Gross.
Gross, isn't it?
It is. Maude is an official Bob Bala fan. I did have to look up who Bob Balaban was, but then I saw him and I was like, oh, it's that guy. I know him. He's
Who is it?
Phoebe's dad.
Phoebe's
He's
dad?
sort of that. You reckon he's in Seinfeld as well? He's a very little, like a little man with round glasses, quite mole manny.
Oh my, Bob Balaban. Oh yeah, I know Bob Balaban.
Yeah, but I didn't until
He was
now.
the TV executive, wasn't he, in Seinfeld?
Yes, he was born on 16th of August 1945 in Chicago, Illinois. He's an actor and director known for Gosford Park, A Mighty Wind, and Close Encounters of the Third Kind. And he's been married to Lynn Grossman since the 1st of April 1977. They have 2 children.
It's a good run.
I wonder what what Maude's favourite role of Bob Balaban's was. I speculate it was as Dr. R. Chandra in 2010, the year we make contact.
Oh yeah, that's the sequel, 2001.
It is a Space Contact. I do like Sarah. I do think she was a good choice for a second Ned girlfriend. She's not too outrageous like Ginger Flanders, who is not Ginger from the Maude family tree, but the Vegas wife. But she's different enough from Maude that it would bring conflicts to Ned. Like, she's nice, but she's from a different world. She's from this Hollywood world. Yeah, I think Ned's sort of issue becomes that he doesn't want Rod and Todd specifically to grow up in a Hollywood style life, and then he does have a nightmare style dream in which he sees Rod and Todd in a car with James L. Brooks, and they say we're Jewish now.
Is Susan Sarandon Jewish?
I don't see how that's relevant.
What went on to that led to them being under that blanket is what I'm interested in. How did he manage to lose all of his love and respect for Maude? Surely this is the low point in all of the 29 seasons.
Yeah, you'd think so. He has sort of a whole, like, she wants to get under the blanket, and Ned is concerned. He's only concerned because they're not married, though. He's not concerned because of Maude.
Really?
Yeah, and then he reads through the Bible. Or he starts thinking about different Bible verses that contradict, or like pros and cons, and then the Bible blows open to a random page and it says like "go for it" or something, but in like Bible quote. So he does.
That's a cop-out, total cop-out.
But then she immediately leaves as well because she doesn't want it. Ned immediately is like, well, now we need to get married, and she's like, no,
What's
I
the
don't
point?
want to.
I already had the goodness. I already had all of that sweet Ned juice.
Awful. First name drop of the season too for us. This is the first reference of a Maude. What are we, like 55 minutes in?
Yeah.
And we've not seen her. We've just heard her name.
Oh no, we barely get to see her in this.
Yes, I agree. I don't think we get to see her at all, do we?
No, but I think well, we kind of do. I think the key here is Ned's what's the word I'm looking for? Total disgraceful abandonment of his wife.
Yes, he's no longer happily married to her. It seems those vows like now things have changed for him, and he's getting a bit of action. He doesn't do the like happily married would imply you're still married, so don't sleep with anybody else.
He's still he's letting Nedwood Jr. do his thinking these days.
But then it is very, very Catholic of him to just pick the bits of not Catholic because he's not Christian, to just pick the bits of the Bible that apply to him and ignore the ones that contradict what he wants to do personally.
WWJD, innit?
Yes. What would Jacques Derrida?
And now, I, Luna Sizemore, present from the deep tones of the time-distorted WWP. The tale of Snaggy the dog.
Snaggy, the heroic dog, had an unquenchable love for pies. His love for these delicious treats brought him to Wigan, where he spent hours sniffing out the best pie shops in town, with Pie & Bakery and Greg's being his top favourites. In the year 2022, when B, Z and Snaggy were faced with an onslaught of zombies, Snaggy's love for pies did not waver. He used his keen sense of smell to track down the undead and helped B and Z take them down. He fearlessly charged into battle, showing his courage and determination to protect his human companions. As they journeyed, Snaggy not only made new friends with survivors Rolly Fingers and JP17, but also used his intelligence and strength to help fortify their defences against witches and 80s bad lads. He also used his sense of smell to track down the kidnappers of Rolly F and Molly Baxter, showing his determination to protect his human companions and helping them save their friends. But his main focus was always on finding the best pies. He used his sense of smell to search for pie shops, whether they were open or closed, and he never gave up until he found the perfect pies. Snaggy's love for pies was so strong that even during their journey, he would always make sure to find time to savour the taste of different pies, whether it was a traditional meat and potato from Pie & Bakery or an exotic fruit pie from Greg's. He was always on the lookout for new pies to try and never missed an opportunity to savour the taste of a delicious pie from Pie & Bakery and Greg's. His love for pies was so strong that it became an integral part of his character, and it was his love for pies that made him the determined, brave and loyal companion that he was.
Clip 7.
5.
Season 14, episode 17. 3 gays of the condo. HJ is pointing and at a scowling McGaggy. Ned pops over to the fence and says, "Oh, that's kind of a thingamajigsaw, but it looks like it's missing a piece." Jerk-ass Homer points. "Looks like you're missing a wife." Ned chuckles and adjusts his glasses, looking traumatized. I walked right into that one.
Which is ironic because that's what Maude did with that with the t-shirts.
She fell right into it, didn't she?
Like she walked and then fell. She did everything. I don't think Ned would have laughed here at all. So I'm working under the theory, not that it's a comedy show aimed to make us laugh, that he actually blocks out about 90% of what Homer says to him by just reciting Bible verses in his own mind. And to be even more specific, probably the ones Maude underlined as a way to honor her in his brain. So he probably just heard the vague semblance of, oh, Homer's just made a joke, I should say something like, oh, that was a good one. So he probably, in Ned's defense, probably didn't hear this. But also, yeah, he is a doormat, and they've got past. We've had the sad episode now where he bangs a Hollywood actress. So now he can live a little and start making fun of the fact that Homer led directly to the death of his wife and mother of his children.
We're all moving on. We can all laugh about it now. How long is it before he totally disgraces himself in our eyes and marries Edna Krabappel?
A while, yeah. This is season 14, so I bet he's still about 9 years away from that.
All right, so he gives it a good run. Although in Simpsons time, that could be like half an hour.
Yeah, or it could have been 20 years earlier. Homer made a good joke in the last episode. He said something like 1989, that's when I was 17, or maybe I was 30.
That's good, good. Clever, very clever.
Yes, topical meme.
Clip 6, season 14, episode 18. Dude, where's my ranch? David Byrne from the Talking Heads is in a recording room. His leftorium is an empire of woe. Cut to a record plant where Homer and David Byrne records are being pressed. Angry Homer on the cover. Everybody Hates Ned Flanders is the title of the disc. Lenny and Carl. FLA, Homer in mocking tone, don't yell at Ned. Lenny and Carl, DER, Homer, his wife is dead. Everyone hates that stupid jerk. The DJs at KBBL chuckle and press the red button in which a scream comes out, accompanied by the thud of somebody hitting the ground. Cold.
A very cold episode, this, for us. This is all the sort of like the heartless Maude references sort of put together in a row, chronologically. Clearly at this point, they were completely over the fact that they fired Roswell, and they were ready to just laugh about it. I think she's already back, though. I feel like Roswell's back now as Helen and Luann, etc. So they can kind of laugh about it out of show, but in show, Maude's still dead. I do like this clip. Homer was trying to write a Christmas Carol, and it came out as an anti-Ned anthem, and then for no reason, David Byrne walks into Maude and says, "I've heard your mixtape and I want to make it into a full song with you." So they do, and they make just a Ned bashing song, which also features the line "and his creepy little offspring Rod and Todd," which then cuts to Ned, Rod and Todd happily singing along to the song in the car, and Ned and Rod and Todd say hooray when they hear the radio name check. In terms of Maude, that was a good scream. It definitely wasn't the MMG scream. If I was pushed to guess, I would say it was Cartwright.
Do you think so? You don't think Roswell came back to record that scream?
No, I don't believe so. I believe it was just because they wouldn't have Maude's scream as a radio show. Like, I think it was supposed to just sound like a generic scream.
Could have been possible that someone recorded Maude's scream on their phone and sold it
possible
to a company who then made it into a kind of a radio meme.
Nice. It's likely and possible. Maybe Otto filmed it as he was outside at the time.
Otto.
These are called Bill and Marty, not Rick and Morty, who they didn't know Maude at all. That's why I like it, but they're still laughing at her tragic death. But this comes back to clip 2. They must have known enough about Maude to know that she died falling, because they play the correct death sound. Like, they knew that she died because she fell, so they must have had either they've looked into this song, or that was something that they knew at the time and maybe reported on at the time, or maybe they used Fandom Wiki.
Probably.
But yeah, that's again, like, these two random radio presenters know enough about Maude to know how she died, so she's not that supporting player in our lives, is she?
See, that's a good conjecture. That's a good conjecture that they know enough to know that when Homer's talking about Ned's wife, that they know who it is and how she died. They were able to source appropriately horrific sound effects.
Yes, and the thud is more like, it's not the thud of someone it's the thud of someone just falling to the ground, isn't it? It's not the thud of someone falling thousands of feet, or whatever it was.
How would those two thuds be different?
I think one of them would be, well, we can hear them. I'll play them both now. One of them just sounds like somebody has had a little fall, which is the one that we hear.
Boom.
And the one in the episode is definitely a concrete, like, no
Crack.
pun intended. Yeah, she has hit the floor. Like, she is
Hit the floor running.
Yeah, that is a thud. That wasn't a clump. That was a thud.
That was a heck of a thud. That was a skull cracker.
Exactly. HOTT. HOAT.
Clip 7. This is our only view of Maude, and I clipped it.
You can call it that.
That's as close as we're going to get. Millhouse, this is season 4, episode 21, The Bart of War. Millhouse and Bart are riding a drinks trolley down the Flanders stairs, I imagine. They are heading towards a door with a beard of God on it, and it says, "Children, keep out." An eagle-eyed Zaz has spotted that as they're zipping down the stairs, you get to see just the mere hint of the side of Maude's face in a photo.
Yeah, this one is, it has to be, and I will go on record as saying this, the most just blink and you'll miss her Maude in 34 years of The Simpsons.
Unless,
I
of course,
don't
we
know.
missed it.
Yes, of course. I don't know how I managed to miss, because we're going to come back to some Maude Too Lates in season 10, but I missed like dialogue that she had or like scenes that she was in, but I got this one. Like I must have had some kind of help here, and after I've discussed this clip, I will tell you I'll let everybody in on my Maudecast content secret of how I
met your mother.
Gathered all this information. But this is them breaking into Ned's secret Beatles room, which is behind that god door. And it's clearly, it's not a secret, so he either did it after she died or she just knew and wasn't bothered that he had a Beatles room. And I would like to say it's probably the latter. I don't think Maude really concerns herself with Ned's hobbies.
No.
As long as they're not too, not too far gone.
As long
Lennon's
as they're room
probably
based.
a plus.
As long as they're room based.
Yeah, she's very like that, isn't she? Like, if you want, that house is full of, like, have whatever hobby you want, but you must do it in a secret room. Like, you can eat as much ice cream as you want, but you have to gorge it in the attic.
Gorge in the attic. Or do you want to rumpus in the rumble room? Or do you want to get in
call it that.
Get in touch with Jesus in the Beetle room.
Exactly.
The trolley they're riding, it seems to be full of recording equipment as well.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't even remember. I believe that either Bart or Milhouse, probably Milhouse, had a pet fly on a lead, and it got loose and it went into the Flanders home, so they climbed through the window to get it. And then I think they just started looking at stuff. Obviously, they've already, at this point, it does surprisingly, it makes continuity sense because they shredded all of Maude's things. So it would make sense that all sort of traces of Maude are not present in the Flanders house anymore. Like, there's nothing of her. There's like a third of a picture on the wall. This is our first kind of appearance of the season for us.
It's the first time we get to see her beautiful face, or at least the corner of her eye.
Yeah, I don't even know. I know you get a bit of the duck mouth, I think, if you're lucky. But I'm going to reveal how I gathered all the content now, exclusive. When we started, I got all the ones that I knew she was definitely in, because I'd already done that all of Maude's lines video that I'd already put on YouTube. So I already had a vague idea of every time she'd spoken. Then I used Simpsons Wiki, not Fandom Wiki, just Simpsons Wiki, to check on the Maude page what episodes they had her listed as appearing in. Then after that, I went through season 13 to present, episode by episode, using the appearance page on Fandom Wiki that tells you what characters were in that episode, just to see if there were any more.
Maude.
And then there were, obviously. And then after that, I used Frinkiac, which is the one where you just type in the line and it shows you like every still from the episode. I just sort of speed looked through them to look for anything with Ned, Rod and Todd or anything in the Flanders house, and then check to see if there was anything. That's probably how I got this one, to be honest. And I'd probably say by doing that, we got an extra like maybe 25 to 30 appearances.
Well, I can't argue with that commitment.
Our original plan was like 50 episodes because we were only going to look at the times when she talked, and now we're at the point where she's not even been in this episode other than a third of the corner of her face for under a second.
And yeah, the episode is still an hour and a half long.
Yes. How is Snaggy? No, he's in now.
We'll ask him, but he very unlikely he'll do anything.
People don't say no to us.
Oh, he won't say no. He just won't do it.
I see.
Oh, nice to meet you. Little flashback here. Nice to meet you, our cousin. We haven't seen you for quite a while. I'm Flimsy Rosewater. This is my brother or cousin. It's unclear at this point. Something Rose Nightshade.
Florence Nightingale.
And I'm King Brendan, and this is my brother, biological brother, King Nathan.
Zaz.
But the circle has been breached.
I can't see.
Oh yeah.
I can just wing it though.
The circle has been breached. Oh my goodness, that means all kinds of bad stuff's going down.
It is. The circle has been breached for quite some time, but time doesn't really do here. Pants, umbrushing.
Can you fix it for us, Pants? Yes, I can. And why doesn't Beef and the balloon manticores? Why don't you just do a little dance?
Fu Team Vu Shengyu.
To kind of keep the demons out, but I don't know what to do. It doesn't matter. The demons don't like any kind of dancing.
Exactly.
So I really like your dark magic and soft furnishing here. And are these bricks hollow? But yes, you won't find any flimsy nonsense here, but a web of sense.
Within the circle, we have a very, very small society.
We are the Salt Preservation Society. Oi!
Best little Lee, that's what we call this.
Was that?
Sometimes.
Hold on. Did your spider just talk? Did that spider just sing?
Yes.
Oh yeah, spiders.
Meow.
Spiders here can sing, and cats can sing, and Drake, the singer, is a ghost.
Can't sing.
This is all very wacky, isn't it?
This is weird. The cat also runs all schools in the universe.
Anyway, Flimsy, let's get the 4 angels back to their spaces, archangels, back to their spaces to protect us against Xenakis if he comes by, or any of those trolls, demons, or any of that other bad stuff that's out there. So Darren M. Spider, the lion-headed spider of fire, can you go over there to the north?
Yes, I can. I'm a Roman centurion who has been time displaced. I like to sing songs.
It's a nice spider. I'm not usually a fan. Yeah, he's okay, isn't he? And this is Berry the Veil, a cat in charge of counter-terrorism in schools. The human-headed heir of Aquarius. Do you have to say for yourself, Berry? I use the wind to cleanse and purify the space, meow.
So you can go to the south if that's okay, Berry. Is that all right?
That is fine, meow.
So over there to the west, let's have HAMM, Human Automated Munch Munch. Oh, he seems quite a desolate machine. Oh, brain the size of a planet, etc., etc. Yes, so he's an eagle-headed water Scorpio with ocean powers. Over there to the west, Ham. Okay, brain the size of a planet. You've said that bit already. Off you go. Okay, tromp, tromp, tromp.
He's the newest member of the circle. He's doing okay. And this is our group of mice, Mice U. They are the bull-headed of Earth stabilizers. This is Vonnegut, the leader of the Mice King. He can't speak. He's very, very tiny.
Is it Kurt Vonnegut, the writer?
We just know him as Vonnegut, but probably. He does write. He hates Drake. The Mice Kingdom exists secretly inside our Salt Circle, but it secretly is up for debate.
That fellow they talked about before, Xenakis, that was in Phil's story. He's the bad guy, right, in this season?
I think so. According to the bard that we heard outside, Pippi of Bickershaw, Xenakis cannot enter. Drake was his Obi-Wan.
Oh, Drake, who's Obi-Wan? Xenakis's or Vonnegut's?
Yeah.
Is Drake the real singer Drake, or is it?
No, yeah, he's the Canadian singer Drake. Meow. He is. He is real.
He only exists in the head of KV, having died many centuries ago.
None of this. What have we walked into here, King's As? No, this makes less sense than any of the previous 8 seasons.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't know where are we? Who are these people? Have you ever met these cousins before?
Well, are we in the zeitgeist of we time?
We must be.
All right. So, okay. Well,
who is Drake?
He's a singer. He's a rapper. He's a rapster. So, but listen, Pars, can you lead the evocation of the archangels, Darren, Berry, Ham, and KV's mice to fortify and guard the circle, please? Yes, I can. And here is my AI-generated archangel evocation. Leave space.
Thanks, Rob.
So while we're doing that,
Pants.
Let's move on to Maude art, and a very special one. For the first time in many, many eons since we did Face Forward, we're actually doing Zaz-generated art.
Yes, we can't really call it mine, but we can.
Tell us about it. What can we see?
Well, using Chatbot's cousin, Artbot, and by I mean you, realised that it could make really good Funkos, and then I ran with that, and so here we have the official releases of
By I, you mean you?
Yes, by you I mean we. Funko Pop, official, unofficial Mordcast Funko Pops.
So there's a cool one of me in a shirt, funky shirt. There's a cool one of you, looking a bit like a reporter.
Yes.
Tell us about Ergon Envelope and Stamp in this picture. What led you to make these design decisions?
Oh yes, the Brendan and the Zaz are very on the nose. Stamp, I just wanted to base him. All we really know about Stamp is that he's old, he has Maude's hair, and he usually wears a bikini.
I don't think 2 of those facts are things we knew before.
Well, they are things I visually knew just from putting pictures together.
Old young Stamp.
Yes, and
this is quite an interpretation of Ergon and Envelope. Ergon being the now being the Star Child at the end of space-time, or does this predate that era?
This is pre-Space Child Ergen, yes. This is when he was... Both of them were assistants, weren't they, to Stamp and Statman? Is that how that worked?
Something like that.
Yeah.
It was never overly clear, but I'm assuming the envelope was connected to Stamp in some way.
Yes, and Ergen, don't know, Ergen just sounds like Igor, so I went with an Igor thing, and he's always, it wouldn't do Hunchback, and it won't do any weird eye stuff either, it just gives them two eyes that look the same most of the time, and Envelope is essentially just Luan.
Yeah, it does look a bit Luanish. And then we move on to Wave 2 2-pack. Tell us a little bit about what we can see here in this 2-pack Shakir.
Exactly, well normally we would be looking at one, but why it is our premiere extravaganza, I thought I'd throw in two.
For this season, the art this season is going to be all Funko Pops.
Yes, entirely Funko
Beautiful,
Pops.
beautiful.
Unless you want to throw in extra ones.
I do not.
Okay, exactly. Pip. Derrida and Quantum Pence. I like doing the animal ones because they turn out really good. So Quantum Pence.
This is before Quantum Pence became a hamster of pure light.
It's up for debate because he does have wings.
Yes,
so he's definitely he could always fly though for some reason.
It's true.
Derrida, I just typed in Pop Funko with Jack Derrida and that was gave me. And it's
pretty good.
Yeah, no notes. I didn't have to do anything.
My
with that
dog's
one.
got no notes.
Exactly.
How does he spell? Terrible.
Jeff Apple was a hard one to nail, but I think because he's wrinklier.
It's spot on though for the design. If you look at the art that you've made for the last 90 episodes, the Jeff Apple character that you created is very cool, and this is a very good artist rendering.
It's not bad. It's certainly the Ouija board one is next, and our uncle.
So Ouija board is a lot more like Baron Samedi than I had imagined. Do you know Baron Samedi?
No, but he is very much like that. Is he just like a like an afterlife god?
Baron Samedi is a Haitian voodoo god. He's a god of the dead. It's one of my favorite folklore villains / gods.
Yes, you like him enough to not made him a sponsor 90 times.
Well, we'll soon remedy that, won't we? So we got Anton Ouijibo, our uncle, who's lost still somewhere in the Manyverse, traveling.
Ouijibo was based on, it's a picture of the Strictly Come Dancing judge Anton Dubec with long black. I just went for the traditional goth stuff. So Ouijibo has I don't think he usually has a skull face, but I wanted to jazz him up a bit for this.
Yeah, he normally just has a normal face, but that's just his Halloween makeup probably.
Yes.
And the Statman John is very cool. He's definitely a cooler, funkier version of the John that we know and love.
Yeah, he was a tricky one as well because he has a lot of additional things. Statman John being a picture of Adam Driver with the hair of Marsha Wallace.
Oh, okay.
Pat Butcher's earrings, some spiral glasses, and a handlebar mustache and a beard. And up on typing all those things in, this is what it came up with.
Really? So pretty good.
Yeah, not bad. I really wanted the spiral glasses. I think that would have cemented the whole thing, but it's not happening.
I like those glasses though. They're cool. Whose face do you use for John Poop 17? Is that just a generic?
Yeah, I can't remember. I think I just typed in Edgelord or something like gamer, like tired gamer. JP17's design changed though between season 4 and 5. I rebooted him.
Yeah, you got a good one. You've nailed him. So
who would you choose to purchase out of those
these?
6?
Jeff Apple. 9. Jeff Apple is my favorite of those 6.
Nice. I think I would go probably either Stamp or Jeff Apple or Derrida and Quantum Pence, the 2-pack.
2-pack. Sure. 2-pack for sure. So, let's just. The air's gone all wavy, and I can just see through a little portal something seems to be going down in a castle. Cut to a story read probably by AI.
Ashley stood at the entrance to Xenakis's throne room, her heart racing and her hands shaking as she faced her worst fear. She knew she was in danger, but she was determined to stand up for herself and not let Xenakis control or intimidate her. She took a deep breath and stepped into the room, her eyes scanning the area for any sign of the Vampire King. But as she approached the throne, she was stopped in her tracks by a cold, icy blast that froze her in place. "You should have stayed out of my way, Ashley," Xenakis said, his voice dripping with hatred. "You may have thought you had a chance against me, but you're no match for my ice powers. I am the Vampire King of the Indeed Ice Kingdom, and I will not be challenged by a mere mortal like you. Ashley's heart raced as she realized that she was about to face her demise. But even in her final moments, she refused to let Xenakis intimidate her.
No way, no way!
Xenakis, she said, her voice filled with defiance. I won't let you win. I won't let you control me or bully me anymore. I'll go out fighting, even if it means my own death. Xenakis sneered at her, his icy blast ready to end her life. Yes way, Ashley, he said. You had your chance, and you blew it. You were a temporary member of the girl band Vanilla, but now you'll be a permanent one, in death. She falls from tower to parking lot.
No way, no way!
We're running out of people.
We can read it
What
in a
was that?
voice.
No, it's fine. I prefer to make robots do it. What was that? What just happened? Was it?
It just went wavy.
What did we see? Was that somebody died?
Somebody did die. I'm sure the story pointed it out. But while we're here and we're all settled down in a salt circle and the archangels are keeping the demons at bay, a line that I did not think we would be saying in first season of the Maudecast, but times change. Why don't we have a diary?
Why don't we have a diary?
Your diary.
From who?
Maud Flyers.
Oh, okay. Let's circle it back round.
We've not mentioned her for a good half an hour.
No, Maud Flanders, not Maud Finley.
No.
Oh,
Or Maud.
Apatow.
Diary. Today was quite an eventful day, full of surprises and unexpected experiences. Ned and I attended Syncopody Op Show, and while I was initially hesitant about participating in the tongue kissing competition, I eventually gave in and took part in it. We applied as a couple, so Ned and I assumed we would be competing as a couple, but we were not. And I was paired with the Bumblebee Man, while Neddy was paired with a school teacher in a green cardigan and a green dress who literally neither of us have ever seen before in our lives. The festival was so lively and colourful, with people dancing and singing, and the food was delicious. We kissed passionately on stage, but sadly both me and Neddy's teams lost out to the eventual winners, Mo and a Billy Goat, to the competition. We bumped into Dr. Hibbert, who expressed his surprise at seeing us at the festival. He remarked that it was out of character for us to be there, but we explained that we were just trying to have a little fun. He seemed to understand and even offered to buy us a drink. We declined, but it was nice of him to offer, especially since I watched his brother die that time. As the day went on, I started feeling a sense of guilt and shame about my actions. I'm a married woman. I shouldn't be kissing any bumblebee men other than my husband. I feel like I betrayed Ned and her marriage vows. It was a terrible feeling. I talked to Ned about it and he reassured me that it was just a harmless bit of fun and that he didn't mind. He's such a kind and understanding man and I'm lucky to have him. Later, we attended the Hobo Oscars. It was a strange event, to say the least. We ran into Sideshow Mel, who seemed surprised to see us there. He remarked that we were the last people he expected to see at a hobo-themed event, but we explained that we were just trying something new. He seemed skeptical, but eventually warmed to us and even bought us a round of drinks. During the awards ceremony, we sat next to Comic Book Guy, who was quite enthusiastic about the whole event. He commented on the various categories and nominees, and even offered his own opinions on who he thought should win. It was amusing to see how invested he was in the awards. In the end, we even won an award for Most Wholesome Pull, which was quite an honour. We were thrilled to receive it, and it made us feel better about our earlier missings. There's still quite a bit yet. All this talk festivals and special days has me feeling nostalgic today, diary. But I'm thinking about an event that happened several years ago when Ned and I attended the Jellyfish Festival with our new friends Helen and Tim Lovejoy. It was a sunny day and the festival was lively and colourful, with vendors selling all sorts of sea-themed items and people dressed up in costumes. Helen was wearing a bright red sundress and she looked lovely, but there was something about her that rubbed me the wrong way from the start. As we were walking around the festival, we stopped to watch a jellyfish exhibit. There were several tanks filled with different species of jellyfish and people were gathered around to observe them. That's when Helen, who had had a bit too much to drink, leaned over and stuck a hand into one of them. The jellyfish stung her and she let out a yelp of pain. Ned and Tim rushed over to help her. The jellyfish stung her and she let out a yelp of pain. Ned and Tim rushed over to help her while I stood there feeling annoyed and frustrated. Couldn't understand why she would do something so reckless and stupid, and I made my feelings known. Helen, on the other hand, was angry that I was not more sympathetic towards her. We got into a bit of a heated argument and things were tense for the rest of the day. Looking back on it now, I realised that we were both in the wrong thing. Helen shouldn't have stuck her hand into that tank. Actually, no, she was entirely at fault for the Aussie South. Despite our rocky start, Ned and I eventually became good friends with Helen and Tim. We spent many more weekends going to various festivals and events, and I grew to appreciate Helen's wit and humour. I'm grateful for these memories. We even laughed about the jellyfish incident later on, and it became a funny anecdote that we would recount to others, but I know that my jakes stink more than that jellyfish ever could. Even when things don't start out on the right foot, they can still turn out okay in the end, even if Helen doesn't develop any good character traits ever. He's honestly exhausting. Bye.
Well, that was an action-packed diary. The events described earlier were all described in somewhat vague yet specific details. I would have liked to have known a little bit more about the Hobo Oscars. Maybe one day we'll find out a little bit more detail about what happened at such an event.
Yeah.
Are the Oscars for hobo acting?
I'll check back through. According to the diary, no. It is for a multitude of hobo-based things, but acting is not one of them.
I see. Shall we finish with the song?
Yes. Best bin raider, Kihei Kwan, Michelle Yeoh. Keep my hobo's name out of your mouth.
Slap.
Slap.
My hobo's hands out of your bin.
Slap. Should we finish with this song?
Yes. Left or ruim.
Proprietorship, Onora.
Studs happily married womanhood.
Ustash, Clareem, Swilly.
Inknagel kunde dikke murder, kill.
Scrunkies, Bob Balaban.
Superior Katsasi show, calf-length jeans.
Colwing Magagi.
Last thing I bought for a woman was a casket.
I will lake to right nor that own. Do with my rannock.
Lok tralmachus, I will lock drat not that own.
Yell at Ned, his wife is dead.
Angie Jome.
Whiting the E-ground, truly done.
Checkland, truly children.
Eagle Eyes Zaz, no me I old.
No
I did reach
in S15.
The end.
The end.
I did check, by the way, I'm 99% certain she's not in season 15 in any capacity. Not even a picture.
Not even a picture. Oh, what's going on over there? It seems like some kind of domestic incident's going on between those two hobgoblins.
Don't kill you, my brother.
Get off, she's mine. I married her last.
I thought you were dead.
I thought you were dead.
You broke my heart when you married my space dog.
This is my space dog.
But as Soichi said, this is the 21st century. She gets her viewpoint is valid too.
Soichi says, Watashi o oit.
What was that?
I said Watashi o hotoite onigaishimasu. And that is all she wrote.
Murder she wrote. Murder she wrote.
That song, the end song on the last episode of the Maudecast is great.
What's that one?
Is where you just started singing Where Do You Go, My Lovely, and then putting that John Poop 17 music over it.
Yeah. Where do you go, my lovely?